Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It is Monday. We've made it past the weekend.
The world's still here. It's still here.
Yep, and unfortunately
Somehow.
we got some news. We got some news from the weekend that you might have missed. This is the first and only international game show Before Coffee, a father and daughter news podcast where we look at our stories right before the show starts. We just got caffeine in our body and we'll learn to read and speak live on stream. Let's get into those mucking headlines and spin that segue wheel. Today on Mucking Fun Day. Record number of illegal e-bikes seized as police issue warnings in the UK. Plus, live, migrants keep sitting on Cueta beach. We want asylum and we don't want to go back to Morocco.
Yes, and we're going to talk about malfeasance and the Epstein files. It's been at least 3 days since we updated the Epstein files. We have Anthropic CEO's wife wanted Epstein to invest in her luxury porn adventure. Plus, Sarah Ferguson kept in contact with Epstein for years.
More UK news. Reform is criticized for senseless and cruel ban on all foreign nationals claiming benefits. Plus, the tensions begin outside Russia's Supreme Court as anti-war Yabloko party fights to stay on the ballot. Good old putting all your opposition in jail.
Yes, and more of the Mucking Fun Day news dump. The Hunger Games. Yeah, Trump had his own version of the Hunger Games. And plus we have professional quarterbacks telling his college, you can't use my number 5. And why people aren't buying Mark Zuckerberg's AI future.
In my culture news, sad news, Hayden Panettiere, I know how to say her name. Actor in Heroes in Nashville dies, age 36. I know how to say her name, but I don't read it. As soon as I read it, I don't know how to say her name.
That's not good news.
No, this is not good news Tuesday. So.
Not good news. Okay, no, it's not. And it's National I Love My Feet Day. So if you have feet, I suppose you should love them, right? I mean, try walking without them. It is Monday, August 17th, 2026. On Before Coffee.
I hate my foot looks hideous compared to my left foot.
You're breaking up. I don't know if it's on my end or...
Our first story is... let's first do our first segue.
Oh, yeah, that thing. The Segway wheels. The wheels of Segways.
It is a bad pun. This first story is coming out of The Independent by Neil Lansfield. Confiscations of dangerous e-bikes by police forces across the UK have risen by 83% over a single year following a targeted operation. Data obtained by the Press Association through Freedom of Information requests reveals that 7,049 machines were seized in the 12 months to May 19th, compared with the 3,858 in previous period. Sharp increase has driven calls from police, politicians, and charities for updated legislation to address the non-compliant models linked to fatalities and severe injuries. Basically, there's people who are riding on e-bikes that are going way too fast, almost motorcycle speed, but they don't have to have a license. Sergeant Stuart Ford, who heads the City of London Police Cycle Team, branded illegal e-bikes a menace. Julie Minns, Labour MP for Carlisle, is pushing for a ban on sales of illegal e-bikes and conversion kits, describing them as the perfect accessory to phone theft, mugging, and drug dealing. She called on Andy Burnham's government to designate them an unsafe product. Because you think the thing with a bike is you don't need to get a license for it, right? Like a license plate. Whereas you do need to get a license plate for your moped or your
limit.
motorcycle. So if you're running around on a really fast e-bike, stealing people's phones out of their hands, right? Nobody can say, I saw their license plate. Of course, you could always just not be driving with a license plate, but that's the argument here, right? You just have a vehicle that is not registered
Laws
anywhere.
are
You can
there
just make a
for honest
bike.
people. Make a law for the honest people again. Yep.
That's not what this is about. Anyways.
It's about fees. It's about fees, man. I'm telling you. Anyway.
No, that's not what this is about. There's e-bikes that
It
are
will
going
be.
like
Don't worry.
60 miles an hour or something, and people are using them to
Right.
commit crimes.
Well, I'm saying they can make a law without raising money from the law, but they will make a law that makes it a ticket, and that ticket will continually go up, and they won't do anything about manufacture or anything. They're just going to raise money off the tickets. They won't do anything else about it. They're just going to pass a law to make things illegal, and never solve the original problem. I mean, that's my prediction.
Okay. Anyways, what my original point was is that there's no license and registration for a bike. You can just make a bike in your backyard and then get one of these conversion kits and make it go, I don't know, 40 miles per hour or something, and then just drive around stealing people's stuff. That's the problem they're talking about here. Describing them as perfect accessory to phone theft and drug dealing, she called on Andy Burnham's government to designate them an unsafe product. I mean, the Netherlands have already done this, and they have a better bike infrastructure. During a recent crackdown in Cardiff, South Wales, police arrested 4 riders on suspicion of drug offenses after a man in his 20s was found carrying 33 grams of heroin and crack cocaine worth roughly £1,000. Damn. Price has gone down. Under UK law, legal e-bikes are known as electrically assisted pedal cycles, EAPCs, and must meet certain safety regulations, such as the electric motor having a maximum power output of 250 watts and cutting out when a speed of 15.5 miles per hour is reached. That's about the same as the Netherlands. Many illegal e-bikes confiscated by police have been modified to travel much faster. Oh my god, I said 60 miles per hour is a joke, but here there's actually recorded 70 miles per hour e-bikes, exceeding that.
Yeah.
That's a motorcycle on a bike.
Yeah, that's right. It is a motorcycle. It should be classified as a motorcycle. Anything above a certain miles per hour, right? Should be a motorcycle.
Non-compliant machines are effectively electric mopeds or motorbikes, which must be registered, taxed, and insured. Oh, look, all that money you have to spend. I'd rather have an illegal e-bike, I guess. Especially if you're doing illegal things like peddling heroin. While major retailers sell thousands of legal e-bikes every year, many illegal machines are brought off the internet. Hey, I modded my e-bike to go 80 miles per hour. I'll sell it to you for $300. Kits which add an electric motor to a conventional bike are available online for under $300, way cheaper than a motorcycle and getting insurance. As well as being used for crime, illegal e-bikes are also often used for legitimate journeys such as food deliveries and commuting. 31 police forces out of 45 across the UK provided comparable data after PA's Freedom of Information request. The Met Police was the force which seized the most e-bikes in the year to 19th May, with 2,367 illegal e-bikes seized. That was ahead of the Leicester Police, 611, Police Scotland, 585, and Thames Valley Police, 425. The 11 fortresses saw seizures more than double year were Devon and Cornwall, Dorset, Hampshire, Leicester, Lincolnshire, North Hampshire, Northumbria, South Yorkshire, Suffolk, Thames Valley, and the Police Service of Northern Ireland. Wiltshire Police said half of its seizures were recorded in Swindon, the town which Transport Secretary Heidi Alexander's constituency covers. Last month, the Met carried out an operation to catch illegal e-bike users near Tottenham Court Road Station in London West End, a hotspot for phone theft and street crime. Speaking to the PA at the scene, Commander Nirav Patel said Londoners were fed up of the criminal and antisocial use of e-bikes. The force had started using patrollable rolling road devices so officers can test an e-bike's maximum speed using its motor to help them spot illegal machines. The City of London police seized 4 of the machines in just half an hour last month. Mr. Ford said some illegal e-bikes are 3 times heavier than a conventional bike. Yeah, because they have a battery on them, a really big battery, so they can go for a long time. If that was to hit a small child, it could cause serious injuries, he warned. Calling for new legislation to deal with illegal e-bikes users, he added, I would like to see specific laws around e-bikes brought in. A government spokesperson said illegal e-bikes that can reach dangerous speeds have no place in our roads and pavements, and that the rise in seizures shows the scale of the problem police are dealing with. That's why we have strengthened police powers, changing the law so that officers no longer need to issue a warning before seizing these vehicles where they are just used antisocially. These tougher powers come in force the 29th of June under the Crime Policing Act of 2026. Imagine if they said the same thing about cars. Cars are so antisocial. That's my story.
It's your story! And of course, I would have come up with a really good bike pun, but it's Monday and I'm too tired.
I got it.
I'm waiting for rim shot.
I'm just waiting. I'm just watching you. I like watching you.
Watch me,
struggle in your chair. Yeah.
There we go.
I'm enjoying watching you just be like smiling with a gummy smile.
Yes, that's right. That's all I got. Just one fun, man. Like I said, I was too tired.
My next story is coming
I will say this. It's not a fun, that Maryland does right. I had to look it up. The law here, if your bike goes over 25 miles per hour, there might be like a little buffer zone between 20 and 25, right? But if you're under 20, you don't need a license. It's just like a bicycle, right? But if your bicycle can go over 25, it's over, right? You go get a license, you got to register it, whatever, So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. My next story.
So yeah, at least they figured that out. I don't know what else they got to figure out. Anyway, let's have a story. Next story.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of things. Probably better infrastructure for one. Some news coming out of the drama in Cueta under the De Morgen, which is a Belgian paper. In late July, which we talked about this at the end of July, tens of thousands of migrants entered the Spanish enclave of Cueta via Morocco. Dozens of people were killed. And now we've got some live updates on what's happening after the fact, because there's still people there who don't want to leave.
Right.
Let me scroll the way down to the most recent update, which would have been, yes. So, security forces Morocco to stop hundreds of people at the border in Cueta. This is the day before yesterday, which I think was Friday. Yes. Oh no, might have been Thursday, the 13th? I don't know. The day before yesterday would have been Saturday? Phew. Okay, this was Saturday. On the 15th of August. According to the Spanish media, security forces in the mountains on the Morocco side of the Spanish enclave of Cueta prevented several hundred people from crossing the heavily guarded border. This would mainly concern people from southern African countries and not Moroccans. The migrants are said to have been hiding in the area of Bindek near the border with Cueta. However, even before they could reach the border fences, they were already noticed and dispersed. According to media in Cueta, no one has been arrested. The Moroccan authorities fear on the 15th of August, a large group of Moroccans will try to enter the Spanish territory. There have been calls for this on several media for weeks. For example, an anonymous video message appeared on the 13th of August evening with the call to respond if you leave Morocco on Saturday. According to Spanish media, the post has been shared 300,000 times, and this is just one example. Social media is building on events of July 30th and 31st, when tens of thousands of people invaded Cueta and completely overrun the Spanish authorities. And the time, communication via social media also played a major role in this. According to Spanish media, the Moroccan border guards did not intervene to stop the influx. The people reached Spain by pulling through the beach or by swimming by a barrier in the sea. Morocco now wants to prevent this and has massively brought police and military personnel to the feet in the wide area. And according to human rights groups, more than 150 people were killed in the sea trip to Cueta by the end of July. After Afterwards, borders around the Spanish exclave Ceuta were strictly guarded in fear of a new influx. The borders around the Spanish enclave of Ceuta were guarded for a new mass influx of migrants, according to Spanish media. Moroccan security forces have already prevented several hundred people from attempting to cross the heavily guarded border. Morocco police arrested at least 111 people north of the Moroccan Interior Ministry. To Reuters, they reported among the detained persons were 109 migrants from sub-Saharan or southern Sahara Africa and 2 Moroccan nationals. They were arrested near Findek, the Moroccan city opposite Ceuta. According to Spanish news agency EFE, the Moroccan police used tear gas. Then, yesterday at 8 a.m., in Spain, Moroccan security forces arrested 294 people near the border with the Spanish Spanish Ceuta on Saturday. Saturday was the 15th of August, who would have planned to cross the border. According to the Moroccan media, this was a routine operation against illegal border crossings. 46 Moroccans and 248 migrants from Southern Africa, countries had been arrested. In the hills around the Spanish exclave Ceuta in eastern Melilla, especially in the summer under cover of vegetation, migrants were looking for a chance to enter Europe. The end of July, we already talked about the end of July, on social media, a new mass exodus was announced on August 15th. Morocco has made every effort last week and this weekend to prevent that, or last weekend, I should say. As of yesterday at 9 p.m., migrants have had a sit-in at Ceuta beach with signs saying, "We want asylum, not return." On the beach of El Trampolin in Ceuta, hundreds of migrants today held a sit-in enforced asylum. While the Red Cross was handing out food, protesters refused to eat and called for protection rather than being sent back to Morocco. They held up signs and slogans like, "We don't want to go back to Morocco. We are people too." The protesters are among the estimated 5,000 to 8,000 people left behind in the Spanish exclave after the mass border crossing in late July. In the few days of the 70,000 people who crossed the border to Morocco in an area with barely 80,000 inhabitants, the vast majority returned afterwards. Who stayed, sleeps by the sea, and is not allowed to enter the city center by the police. According to the local health service, several diseases have broken out, including infectious diarrhea and scabies. Spanish Health Minister Monica Garcia, who visited Ceuta today, denied the health care had collapsed, although she acknowledged that the emergency services in some hospital wards are particularly under pressure. According to her figures, 5,800 migrants have been helped in the past 15 days, 2,300 whom ended up in the hospital. Pressures would have decreased by 70% on her visit. Garcia was booed by care staff who denounced her approach. A new exodus was announced last weekend. Morocco picked up hundreds of people yesterday who allegedly planned to cross the border. So the psyop by Russia and Trump still continuing, trying to force people into the border so that because Spain insulted Trump. This is my conspiracy theory that I've seen. Spain insulted Trump, so Trump said, "Let's do a psyop and tell all the migrants, hey, go swarm the border," so that people will, people will do something bad. They're waiting for Spain to do something like, kill a protester or something, so that they can go, see, Spain, you're also a piece of shit. How dare you call me a piece of shit? That's my conspiracy theory, anyways. Give me your pun.
You dropped off at the end there, on my end anyway, so I don't know if that was a total issue, but are you still there? Hello?
I'm waiting for your pun.
Oh, I'm sorry, because you dropped off there in a minute, and I looked at the screen, you were gone, so I came back. All right, my pun, which I had like a minute ago. You know what? I had some immigration jokes, but they were all borderline offensive.
That's a double pun, even. Because of the fence. As well.
Yes, there you go. Offensive. Oh my goodness. Story for probably too long.
All right, let's get our next segue.
Okay, right on. Let's do the bigger story. Let's do 2 Epstein stories and a idiotic guy who, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how this guy's mind works. There.
Sarcasm.
Sarcasm. This is right for it, right? Well, we'll start with the absurd story and we'll do the Epstein story. So, sarcasm. The absurd story, which couldn't wait for a Weird Wednesday because it doesn't really come to the level of real news, but it's about the entitlement of an pampered athletes, I would say. Let's do the stories from you. USAtoday.com. Fuck the what? Anyway, USAtoday.com has a story. Jaden Daniels has a legitimate gripe with LSU, but it's not about his jersey number. This is from Prince J. Grimes. Jaden Daniels, who is the quarterback for the Washington Commanders, is at odds with his alma mater, LSU, or Louisiana State University, which I guess people that write headlines don't care if people don't know what the hell the words mean. Jaden Daniels is at odds with his alma mater, LSU, the place he became a Heisman Trophy winner and second overall pick in the 2024 draft. It's an odd dispute that leaves us with questions, but he appears to have a legitimate gripe. It's just not about the one Daniels sent a cease and desist letter to the school about. On his face, the dispute is over the jersey number Daniels wore at LSU. The Tigers are allowing sophomore DJ Pickett to wear that number 5 jersey this season, and Daniels doesn't approve. Guess what, Daniels? You don't get to decide what the college gives your number to. That is not up to you, man. I don't know this. Anyhow, this is just, I just can't wrap my head around this guy. Thinks number 5 belongs to him forever. Anyway, the Daniels family is deeply disappointed and feels profoundly disrespected by LSU's decision. I can't stop laughing at this guy. To give Jaden's number to another player. By the way, this is a college. This ain't no pro bullshit. College teams have typically about 150 people on their team, right? They don't all make the team. They got to give numbers to people. A lot of times they got duplicate numbers. So they don't retire. They don't stop using numbers. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't, unless you're a complete idiot. You don't stop using numbers. Jaden and his family had every reason to believe that his number would remain a meaningful part of the LSU legacy and would be honored and protected in recognition of his extraordinary contributions to the university. You know what? Jaden Daniels isn't even the best player to ever go to LSU. He probably isn't in the top 15. So let's stop being silly. To be clear, it's very silly. This is the article writer saying this. To be clear, it is very silly. There's no reason where Daniels' number should be off limit. It isn't retired, but even if it was, LSU's policy wouldn't preclude it from being used. Yeah, they retire your jersey with your name on it, not the number. But from my read of things, the jersey number isn't the real issue here. The problem is people at LSU overpromised on things they couldn't deliver and had to break one promise after another. That's what they do, man. They use you and they throw you away. It's the South. It's Louisiana. If I was you, I would never go to Louisiana again. The first promise was one made to Pickett, a 5-star recruit in the class of 2025, which I believe is, who is Pickett? I have no idea. We just threw a name out there. Okay. Okay. Yikes. Poorly written story. We reference a person that we didn't even call our attention to. The first one, somebody named Pickett, a 5-star recruit in class of 2025, who was told the Pickett is the guy. Okay. Pickett is the new guy that has his number. Got it. All right. The first promise was one made to Pickett, a 5-star recruit in the class of 2025, who was told to wear number 5 by someone on the staff. According to the new LSU coach, Lane Kiffin, the second promise, the one made by former head coach Brian Kelly, didn't want to honor the first promise without Daniels' blessing. That was the old coach. The new coach don't give a shit about the old coach's promises. This shit happens. Again, move on with your life, millionaire athlete. Just move on with your life. You're getting millions of dollars, having a job that other people love to have. I'm already tired of this story, but I just think it's funny. How are these people who get the people in this world who think life owes them continuously every single day. You got to stop. The world is not going to stop for you. The world understands that you have needs. That's all they care about. You have needs. There's things in your life, food, shelter, all of this. I'm entitled to this extra treatment shit has got to stop for everybody. Everybody stop acting like you're special. Anyway, let's have a sarcasm, which I'm dripping with it right now. And we'll do 2 stories about Epstein. We'll combine them. Sarcasm. Hello, are you there? I hear the music playing. Usually means you're there. Maybe you're not there.
Yes, I am
right,
here.
Then.
I was getting coffee.
Okay.
I got here right in time. I heard your whole story. That's what my Bluetooth headphones are for.
All
All
old
right,
people.
some sarcasm.
We don't hear anything. You think it would be forgotten.
Well, imagine that, people could actually report things and write properly. I know you were already talking that before.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that this entire article was basically delivered by somebody's Instagram DMs or something.
No, it was written properly. It was just me reading it wrong. Don't blame
okay.
all me. It was all me. It's all me on Monday. That's my excuse. I have an excuse. Again, same excuse I used on the
We need 5 more cups of coffee, please.
It's Monday. It's Monday, and of course, I don't have any sarcasm. It's kind of an excuse. Okay, the next story is all about the next 2 stories. We're going to combine them so you can Epstein your way out of that one. Oh, first let's talk about the one who is kind of weird. This is from Bloomberg.com. Jason Leopold and Harry Wilson. Uncovered Epstein file emails show Sarah Ferguson contacted Kash Patel, the crazy-eyed weirdo that's in charge of the FBI these days. I want to read the subtext here. Welcome back to the FOAI files. The story of the release of the Epstein file just got more interesting. Over the past several months, the Federal Bureau of Investigation has quietly posted documents to its Freedom of Information Act reading room known as the Vault. The records, which include emails, spreadsheets, and training slides, provide a window into the internal deliberations at the highest level of government as officials discuss that review, redact, and release Epstein file. Yeah, they're trying to figure out who they're going to protect and who they're not going to protect. We already know.
Training slide as in, don't do this, don't reveal this, don't mention the clown.
The FBI documents were made public in response to Freedom of Information lawsuits filed by various watchdog organizations. Of course, there's been a law passed already, by the way, that they're ignoring, and include a set that was first released to me last year after I sued the Bureau to obtain them. My Bloomberg colleague Harry Wilson and I poured over 715 pages of records that found previously unreported details that, like so much surrounding Epstein, raised even more questions. By now, the relationship between Epstein and former royals Prince Andrew and Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, are well documented. Emails from Epstein files released by the Department of Justice in January show Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, as he is now known, maintained a close relationship with Epstein well after Andrew had distanced himself from the disgraced financier. The emails show that Ferguson remained in contact with Epstein in 2008. What's that? Ferguson?
Disgraced financier. I love the politically correct, huge confirmed pedophiles, what I would call them.
Disgraced financier. Yeah, again.
Yeah.
Emails show that the Ferguson
he might have been a piece of shit,
Epstein.
but he made a lot of money. He's a financier. Don't care.
The thing is, we might even be related to Sarah Ferguson, right? Because there's a lot of Fergusons in our family tree. Anyhow, that's our quick story on Sarah Ferguson. Here's another update about Epstein and some more rich assholes.
Well, that was my sarcasm, by the way.
Okay. Well, you can apply to this one too. Anthropic CEO's wife wanted Epstein to invest in her luxury porn venture. Oh my God, it's bad enough these old farts with all their, oh my God, I must have sex with children. It's the goddamn wives are getting worse. How are the wives worse? How could they possibly be worse? Well, this lady's saying,
enabling is seen as worse, and women always get criticized more for the crimes of men. That's how.
Well, I'm just saying. I know a guy who's pervy enough to do a luxury porn, and it's Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, he'll fuck anything. Yeah, we'll get him on the phone. I don't know what rich people think. Here's what you need to do, rich people. Take all the Valium you can and leave the rest of us alone. Just go get yourself some Valium. This is the old days in the 60s. Get some Valium, check out from life, and leave the rest of us alone. We don't want your shit. Nobody requires your luxury porn. Thank you very much. Oh my, what is luxury porn exactly? I have no idea. What do you do with a gold dildo? What is that? IndianExpress.com. Anthropic CEO wife wanted Epstein to invest in her luxury porn. Express Global Desk. Nobody wants to take credit for this, apparently. Anthropic CEO, and her name is Dario Amodi. Oh, his name is Dario Amodi. His wife, his name is Cammie Clark. Ooh, I'm Cammie. All right, Cammie. Reported attempted to raise money from a convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein for her luxury porn company and a woman's health startup. Well, those two things go together hand in hand, don't they? According to the documents released in the Epstein files. I'm doing all your sarcasm in advance. Sorry. I apologize. Clark, who calls herself an entrepreneur, that's what they call him these days, married Amodi in 2022 after dating former Google CEO Eric Schmidt. Oh, she gets to date billionaires. I wonder if she was born a billionaire. The Wall Street Journal said she was sounding board as strategic advisor for Modi and Anthropic, the company behind AI bot Claude. Again, Anthropic, evil corporation. Evil, evil, beyond evil. They are evil. Can we go ahead and say evil one more time? Clark's previous business included a free luxury porn company that catered to women and a social dieting app. Oh, we get to puke on camera. I don't know. Rich people starving to death. I'm definitely down for that. Look at her. She's withering away, even though she has millions of dollars to eat anything. Epstein allegedly, anyway, the Wall Street Journal stated that Clark appeared to have approached the deceased offender, who was not deceased at the time, obviously, for an investment in Eddice, EDDICE, her luxury porn company. She met with Epstein in March 2011 through a literary agent, Jock Brockman, who knew the convicted sex offender. There you go. They finally called him the right thing. Emails in the released Epstein files showed Brockman telling Epstein he should connect for dinner with my girls. Who is Brockman's girls? Allegedly referring to Clark. Oh, okay. Eddice, which used the tagline intellectually promiscuous, featured a website that had content with titles like Lady Porn Day and Orgasm Inc. The website was later shut down, the Wall Street Journal reported. Oh, yeah, okay. So rich people can't get off enough. They have to show you videos of them getting off. I just don't even... Who's the audience for this shit? Really? Regular porn doesn't get you off? What's wrong with you? The Express Global Dex... Oh, no, this is...
What are you
One
saying?
more paragraph. Anthropic. Let's talk about how rich these assholes are. That's what we're talking. Let's do it. Anthropic CEO Amodi's net worth is valued at $15.5 billion, which is $15.4 billion that he needs to live on, which makes him richer than OpenAI's Sam Altman, which that guy, if he talks, I am hitting the mute button, who only has $3.4 billion, according to Forbes. So who can be the richest asshole in the world? It's a big contest. The deployment comes as AI company Anthropic is preparing to launch its IPO. Oh boy, which could be one of the biggest. I hope it crashes and burns. I really do. I really hope it will. So there's your story on rich people only care about rich people. Porn? Who cares about the children that were used to make that porn? We make some porn.
Okay.
Rich people being disgusting for 7 millionth consecutive day.
Yeah,
Let's
I
have
don't know. You stole all my sarcasm, so I don't have anything for
There's
you.
still more. There's room for so much sarcasm here. There's still room for more.
I
Plus, I have
literally
the
have.
soundboard.
Yeah, I'm speechless.
Tell the joke.
That's not my segue.
That qualifies as sarcasm. That does qualify as sarcasm. There you go. All right, that's it. That's all I
I
got.
don't really have a joke about it. It's just
That's all I got, man.
there was a lot of information in there that I don't know if it was from the story or from your perspective of what you think happened.
No, the only real information here. The only real information here is this lady who's married to a rich guy, who's dating another rich guy. I don't know if she was rich before then. She probably was. Trying to contact Jeffrey Epstein to get him money to start up her porn site. Like the world needs another porn site. I have no fucking idea. To me, it's just like, huh? What? The rich people have better.
I just remember you saying something about normal porn, which please let me know what that is, because I'm not sure what that is. As far as I know, no porn is normal. There you go. There's my sarcasm.
Now, I will quote.
This guy knows what normal porn is. First man ever discovered normality in porn.
I will quote a Supreme Court justice who said, "I know it when I see it. I know when I see it. Bam. That's all I got to say. I know when I see it.
That's subjective.
And you too. Exactly. I know it when I see it. If it makes me go, oh my God, I don't want to watch this.
This is why Tommy has normal banned in his chat. If you say the word normal, you get muted or timed out.
You came up with some sarcasm, by the way, in spite of the fact that you.
Our next segue is a limerick, so I hope that coffee is starting to hit because it sounds like it is. For my next story.
It's not Irish coffee, so it might not work. Anyway.
I don't get that joke, but okay.
Irish coffee? Limericks are Irish. Get it? Anyway.
Oh,
it's actually
okay.
a name of a place in Ireland is called Limerick.
My coffee hasn't hit at all, so don't expect me to be quick on the bucket. Our next story is from Kate Devlin on The Independent. Reform is criticized for its senseless and cruel ban of all foreign nationals claiming benefits, which is the same thing the Nazi Party in Germany says.
Oh, right.
These people from other places come here and take our stuff. I hate that. We should kill them all. I mean, we should send them out of the country. And yeah. This is from Reform UK has pledged to bar foreign nationals from claiming almost all forms of welfare in a move condemned as senseless and cruel. Nigel Farage's party said it would remove entitlements to universal credit, housing benefit, pension credit, job seeker allowance, child benefit, free childcare, disability benefits if it wins the next general election. Ableism! Woo! Strike that on your bingo boards, everyone. What else can Reform UK stand for that makes them a piece of shit? Ableism. Reform claims the move, which will... Guess what? If you have a disability and you want to live in a different country, you still deserve to live there. Just because you have a disability does not mean you don't deserve a better life. Reform claims the move, which will include those from the EU, given a settled status in the UK, after Brexit, would save taxpayers £21 billion a year within 5 years. I'm sorry, they're given settled status? That means they have to do paperwork and be traced by bureaucracy.
Brexit, folks. Sounds like the Brexit, folks.
Sorry, I'm just looking up what that actually means. I literally can't find anything about that. But it did link me to a story how the Home Office already found any of those registration schemes are illegal. So basically, settled status is for people in the UK who are already living there before Brexit happened. And they said, oh, you've lived here for 20 years when we were part of the EU, which means you don't have to get a green card or anything. So we're just gonna give you one quickly. And then now they're angry. Reform is angry that these people who probably lived here for 10, 20 years in the UK, moved here before Brexit, have been, getting benefits as settled members of society. Yet again, just more anti-immigration bullshit. Other parties attacked the plan, warning it would plunge the UK back into years of Brexit negotiations and strip support from millions who have worked and paid taxes in the UK for years or even decades. No, you understand? We take the taxes from you and we give you nothing back because fuck immigrants. Ah, yes, human decency. Reform's Treasury spokesperson Robert Jenwick will formally unveil the policy at a press conference on Monday, which would have been today, so he probably has already announced his policy. He said, forcing British workers to pay for the benefits of foreigners is not just economically illiterate, but plain immoral. Guess what? Those foreigners are also British workers. Glad I can help you, Reform's Treasury spokesperson. People are more than happy to support their neighbors in hard times. Guess what? Those foreigners are your neighbors. They live next to you. But the British taxpayer cannot afford to subsidize everyone on the planet. Nobody asked you to do that. That is a strawman argument.
Subsidize the royals.
Especially those who have not paid in. They have paid in. These people are paying their taxes. That's why they're getting a rebate back when they finish paying their taxes. They go, hey, I helped pay for NHS this year. Oh, but I didn't use as much NHS as I paid for it, so they're actually paying me back. Whatever the fuck the rebate is. The public have been crying out for change for decades. No, you've been crying about it and telling people it's a problem that doesn't exist. You've been using sensationalism to say, there's a problem! Immigrants exist and they make me sad! Hurry, everyone vote for me! Like the two old parties, reform will deliver a system that's fair for the British people. What about the people who are living here for 20 years that pay their taxes? Oh, they don't get any of their tax back? Okay, cool. Hey, if you're gonna cancel paying taxes as a foreigner as well, might as well. The measure goes further than Reform's previous commitment to cut universal credit for foreign nationals, but the party saying it would cover almost all forms of welfare. There would be only a small number of exemptions, including the war widows pension and armed forces compensation, to protect the entitlement of those who have served in the British Armed Forces or built up a life of contributions. When it comes to contributions, asked if it would apply to those who have lived and worked in the UK for 25 years, the party said they would retain their state pension but lose access to all other benefits, adding that they would be able to apply for British citizenship. Sign the paper and you get credit to all that stuff. Reform also appeared to admit it would face delays implementing the policy, saying it would require ministers to renegotiate the post-Brexit withdrawal agreement, which gave these European people who are living in the UK for 10 to 20 years settled status because, hey, I don't want to go back to the European Union. Can I please continue living in the UK even though you've decided to leave the EU? Oh yeah, that's a good point. We didn't think about that when we decided to do this fuck-up job. Monday's event, Mr. Jenrick, is also expected to warn unless savings are made, the benefits bill will bankrupt Britain and send taxes even higher. Sounds like you're running a terrible government if you think it's gonna go bankrupt. Also, you're not a fucking... I hate using the word bankrupt for a government because you're not a company. The worst thing that happens is you increase inflation because you have to make more currency. He also criticized his former party, the Conservatives, which he left earlier this year to be a racist instead. That's my input there. Describing them as two sides of the same coin with Labour. A Labour spokesperson hit on the plans, which he said would mean ripping up the UK's withdrawal agreement with the EU, plunging the UK back into years of Brexit renegotiations, stripping support from potentially millions of people who have lawfully lived, worked, and paid taxes in Britain for years, and in many cases decades. That includes people who settled status are a part of our communities, raising families, working, and contributing to our economy. He added that the vast majority of migrants have no access to welfare systems at all under the existing rules, while ministers are currently tightening the rules. Yeah, for somebody who's not an EU citizen who tried to move to the UK back in the day, you have to make a lot of money in order to be allowed to stay in the UK as a non-citizen. I don't remember what the actual number is, but it's not it's not a low wage. It's like a middle wage kind of amount of money, which means that you're not going to probably be taking out any of these benefits to begin with, right? Maybe you get the housing benefit because if you're working in London, for example, it's almost impossible to have a flat without any of these housing benefits because of how high the prices are, because of the same problem the Netherlands has, right? The oligarchs own all the buildings and they say, hey, I can set the price of whatever I want because I'm rich. So this idea that there's poor working migrants, you know, that are sucking up the system is not real. I know there's probably nobody watching this that will listen to me that believes that, but it's not real. The scenario is not in existence in our reality.
If you don't know, they use less police resources. Immigrants, especially people that are hiding, use less police resources, and they end up paying protection money to organize crime. That's what happens, and that's what happens every single time. And we act like, oh yeah, that's not really happening. And then we blame them for all the crime, right? Even though they're not committing crime. Extortion is a crime, of course, but those are the criminals doing that. Actual criminals, not just, I need to live. And the only crime they've committed is your stupid immigration law. And that's it. The only crime they've committed.
And they haven't broken that either. They're legal, settled.
Oh. In a lot of cases,
trailed migrant. They're just migrants. That's what they are. They're migrants. Legal migrants working in the UK since before Brexit. Liberal Democrat work and pension spokesperson Steve Darling said, these proposals are a rehash of the same Conservative playbook, proving the party recycles failed ideas that just recycles an ex-Tory MPs. Broadcasts like this ignore the root cause of the welfare bill, stripping away vital support that keeps many people working and afloat, and both senseless and cruel. The real way to reduce the welfare bill, he said, was to fix the NHS and social care systems, giving people the support they need to get back to work and stay at work. Helen Whately, the Tory shadow work and pension secretary, said the policy was a cobbled-together announcement which is already unraveling. Their proposals will drag Britain back into Brexit battles with no certainty of success. Mohsin Ali, the deputy head of Green, said once again, the establishment parties are all trying to outdo each other when it comes to who can be the most xenophobic, who can punch down the hardest, the most vulnerable in our country, and who can cut the most support for the disabled people. Yes, ableism. It's a cowardly take for the most defensive list when we should be taxing the super wealthy, including those who are in the privileged position accepting £5 million donations. Cough, cough, Farage. Oh, God. Sorry, coughing fit. Tom Buffato from the campaign group Best for Britain, which campaigns for UK-EU reintegration, said, our polling shows that the people do want to renegotiate our relationship with Europe, but by moving closer, not by damaging ties with vital allies and pushing our neighbours, colleagues and friends who have settled status here away. It's clear that after the party's lackluster showing in the Clacton by-election, much to Nigel Farage's evident embarrassment, Reform UK is increasingly out of touch with what Brits really want, which is to get the economy growing again, and as independent economic research shows, only EU membership can deliver. I don't know if the EU will ever accept the UK back in. I don't know. I wouldn't trust them after this. I wouldn't, unless all these bad actors are just no longer in. Like as long as Nigel Farage's party is still alive and him just saying his bullshit, I could not possibly want the EU, want the UK to join the EU again, because he'll just come back and say, "Oh, we're leaving again." All these Polish people here. I don't know how you can be a racist against immigrants and then join economic union.
We sit here and watch the UK actively marginalize themselves. Like, actively marginalize themselves. Like, we could have been a real powerful sayer and things. Now we're just going, we're special! We're special! Everybody else is just wrong. You marginalize yourself. Like North Korea marginalized themselves. It's the same.
Wait a minute. Why are there other people living here? We're an island. Yeah. Oh, why can't we just be pure? Shouldn't have invaded all those countries and conquered them, assholes.
Yes. Here's the United States and the UK right wing right now. We hate China. We just want their immigration policies. Okay.
Do you have a limerick?
Yes, I do. I have a banana in my mouth. Look there.
Is that part of your limerick?
No.
It's part of
I'll read it while I'm chewing on a banana. Banana. I can't say banana with the banana in my mouth. I need my glasses to read this scribble. This is quite a while ago I wrote it down. I had time to eat a banana, plant some crops. Okay. Here we go. Brexit folks have a brand new bug. People are too comfy and way too smug. Life needs to be hard. You need a new card. You must pay and pay and pay to support our aristocratic thugs.
You fool!
Yeah. Yes. My golly, you know, that $500 million a year we spend, they say we spend on a royal family, that's nothing.
Yep.
That $500 million we give to the royal family to protect their stupid little silly asses when they could just go ahead and do that themselves with their own money if they wanted to, like the rest of us would have to.
Go sell some land.
Got money for that. Got money for that. You ain't got money for nobody goddamn else. That's what I'm sick of these rich people acting like they got money for people that don't need it. They got money for people that don't need it. At all. But everything else is precious. All that other money is precious. Ooh, that's a penny. We spent a penny on a poor person. We better get that penny back. Arr. No such qualifications for rich people. Just give them all the money I want.
I also have a short news update that you don't have to write a limerick for because it's very, very short. And it's from, it's about the Russian Supreme Court. Outside the Russian Supreme Court, the anti-war Yabloko party is getting arrested by police. This was on August 17th, which is today at 11, so it's happening like 2 hours ago. Police detained several people outside the Supreme Court building in Moscow ahead of the August 17th hearing on Yabloko's appeal against the removal of the party's federal list from the elections because they're anti-war. How dare you not support this war? You'll never be elected again. Normal reaction from a fascist government right there. RTVI and Telegram channels Slovo Zazletsky wrote about at least 2 detentions. Slovo Zazletsky separately reported the detention of Yabloko activists. Did it again. Keeps putting me in the AFK channel even though I'm speaking. Okay. The Slovo Zazletsky wrote about at least 2 detentions. Slovo Zazletsky reported the detention of Yabloko activists. Yeah, I don't have to say that. You don't have to say that. I'm very aware. I run the show. Yabloko activist Yervingina Titova.
Just because I can't hear you, that's the reason I say that.
Yes, I'm trying to read this story that is very short, so I just want to get through it as quickly as possible. The hearing, which addresses Yabloko's appeal, will be open to the public but will not be broadcast, the Supreme Court press service announced. On August 10th, Russian Supreme Court removed Yabloko's federal list from the elections to the State Duma, the lower house of Russia's parliament, acting on a lawsuit filed by the Rodina party. One of the grounds cited was donations to Yabloko's account from individuals who had previously received money transfers from abroad. Well, of course they're getting money transfers from abroad. They'd support anti-war. People are like, yeah, let's support the party that wants Russia to not be invading Ukraine. You're gonna get a lot of external donations from that kind of stuff. In my opinion, that's not even a surprise. I'm just resetting the story to make sure there's no more updates. Okay. Yabloko's chairman, Nikolai Rybakov, said there were no grounds for excluding the party from the election and vowed that the Yabloko would prove it in this court case. As of an update, at least 35 people have been detained outside the Supreme Court building by noon, so just an hour ago. Yabloko said. Kryl Goncharov, chairman of Yabloko's Moscow branch, said police were taking one ground of more than 20 detainees to the Kamonvniki police station and another group of 15 to the Arbat police station. People were being detained without grounds or cause, he said. They're just out here for the court case. And it's like, you're arrested. You know what this is? It's like what they warned would happen with ICE. A bunch of immigrants or people who could be immigrants go to concerts by, foreign nationals and go, hey, now we can round up all the immigrants because they're all here to see. It's a setup. All these anti-war protesters go here to support the party, and then they're like, hey, we found some anti-war people that we can arrest and put in a gulag because how dare they be anti-war?
Yes.
They should be supporting the war. Betrayers to the country. That's what it sounds like to me. That's my conspiracy theory about this entire thing. Right. But it was very short. That's why I was like, you don't have to write a limerick for this because I'm already done.
It wasn't all
Well,
that
it was
short.
longer because you interrupted me when I was still reading it.
Let's not blame me for that. I had time to write a limerick.
Go ahead then.
I'm sorry. All right. Yeah, I did have time.
I told you I was done already.
Yeah.
That was me just adding more to the story, but I finished reading the story 5 minutes ago.
Like I said, I had more time after I wrote the limerick, so it wasn't all that short. Putin, let's do this again. Putin continues. Well, let's see. Didn't write it really clear. Vladimir Putin continues unabated to be a fascist, lowly rated, right? Taking freedoms away each and every day. A villainous oligarch cannot be satiated. There you go. You cannot please a person. In other words, you can't please a rich person. Right? If they were pleased with just being rich, they would have stopped at $1 million, you know? And said, hey, maybe I should give some of this money away. I feel guilty.
Yeah.
But no, you cannot play for the oligarch. Oligarchs want power, money, and money and power. And if they're not going after
all those
power,
sounds
money,
played at the same time.
money and power.
I love that for me. Yeah.
That
All played at the same time.
was a digital fart. Let's have us
another segue. Yes. How long that takes to do. Okay, that wasn't delayed. Only the sound was delayed. I will give you a... No, not more sarcasm. We've had plenty of that already today. Since I called you, I've had sarcasm.
Yes.
Accurate metaphor or simile.
Okay, got two stories. One short, one a bit longer. Accurate. Okay. Yeah, we're covering the stupid stories from the previous week and even weeks previous because we don't want to cover them in real time because they just take away attention from actual stories. But this is kind of just one of the more pathetic things that just keeps happening in this country is people think they're special when they're not. And then here's the thing. The right wing hates participation trophies. They fucking hate them. Right? This is before the story. Oh, the participation trophies running the country. Here we go, creating a whole new bunch of sports for a bunch of white people that are not good at anything. So here we go. TheAtlantic.com, Hunger Games MAGA style. That's right, a gym style competition. Matt Beiser has a story from The Atlantic, which usually writes long stories, but this guy just put this one up because, hey, we got to cover this. Might as well call it what it is. Whitey Olympics. The semi-sequential, I don't even know how to say that. The semi-quincentennial events that Stinky the Clown has personally directed have been a celebration of his very peculiar, weird-ass version of America, which appears to be a bizarro, acid-filled church picnic. Church picnic on acid, let's call it that. The bloody UFC fight on the White House lawn, which UFC again, gay porn, was followed by a sparsely attended Great American State Fair and a world record-breaking July 4th fireworks show held alongside a dangerous lightning storm. That's right, let's get some people killed. Next weekend, or apparently, I did not know about this either, we'll bring a high-speed car race through the museum-lined streets of Washington. What can go wrong? Oh no, the Lincoln Memorial's on fire because Chevy and a Ford crashed into it. This might, but of all the festivities, this creep who's living in the White House has given us the Patriot Games in Ohio. Of course, Ohio, because Ohio just wants to be the Northern Confederacy these days. The Patriot Games in Ohio might have been the oddest. Organizers convened 120 teenagers from across the country. Let's see, 120, population of 350 million. That's quite representative. In their telling, the next generation. Oh shit, I'm hearing myself. All right, you gotta turn my feedback down.
Oh, sorry about that.
I can't hear myself talk. It's very distracting. Today. I consider myself. Okay, don't stop. Okay. The organizers convened 120 teenagers from across the country to tell the next generation of leaders. Oh my God, that would be so disappointing. But also whoever happened to respond to an online request for personal essays and video entries at a high school in Geneva, Ohio, which has a population of 5,924, roughly 45 miles northeast of Cleveland. Good place for any of this stuff to take place where nobody can see it. For 3 days, they competed in gym class staples such as ball tosses, long jumps, tug of war, dodgeball, and arcade-style basketball game called Victory Hoops. Have you ever played Victory Hoops?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I don't even care about sports, but hearing about this is making me want to die.
Yeah, it's video games for people who first saw a game controller last Tuesday, I guess. I don't know. The field was narrowed to 8 contestants who competed before the president on Tuesday night, clamoring through the Ninja Warrior style obstacle course by wearing red, white, and blue. One boy, a girl with crowd championship, was given a $125,000 scholarship and launched out of a cannon. No, wait, I added that part. Nobody was launched out of a cannon. That was me editorializing because the spectacle to me is obscene. They're using children for a spectacle. Over the past several days, ESPN, who I never watch anymore, unless it's the free shit I can get, on some, other entity. Of course, if you want to watch anything on ESPN, you got to subscribe to their special ESPN Plus, where you can watch 26 hours of this contest. Oh boy. You know what? Here's the thing. Disney Plus allows you to watch ESPN, right? It's like, hey, this event's on ESPN. You can subscribe to their specials. But it'll list the things that you can watch on ESPN. I did not see this. On their list. ESPN isn't even promoting this fucking shit. They're like, God, no, please. I guess we got to do it because our boss tells us, but fuck. Anyway, over the past several days, ESPN has streamed more than 26 hours of this dribble, and I've consumed many of those hours, you poor bastard. But I have yet to fully understand why this competition happened or what it has to do with American history, even American culture at this moment. I could barely follow how the various events were scored. It was like watching a nationally televised field day. And if you don't know what field day is a different thing to me, but I guess a thing in elementary schools in America is field day, where you just play little games like balloon toss, fucking you carry a little spoon of water to fill up a pitcher of water, three-legged race,
the potato one, the potato pouch or whatever.
Potato race, man, I don't know.
Everyone grabs the parachute and then goes under it and then goes up and down and goes inside the parachute.
Yes, I wasn't at a lot of them. I don't think they invite parents, do they? Do they even invite parents? They invite you for later, I think.
I think you showed up to one. Really, it's not exciting for adults, right? You just watch your kids have fun, and you go, "Oh, look at my kids having fun! I'm full of joy and happiness," or something.
Yeah, I remember certain things like this at school, and I remember we're in a field day. But to me, the Marine Corps' field days once a week. Thursday, you clean the shop, right? I'm sorry. Thursday night, you clean your barracks or you clean your room, and they get inspected before you can go order a pizza and mess up your room again. And Friday morning, you clean up your work area. That's the Marine Corps every single week. So that's what field day is to me.
Not something of joy and bliss.
Considering the fact that I lived out in town at my last unit, I lived out in town, and I still had to show up for field day in a room. I still was my room, right? Because I was not an actual officially allowed to live out of town. They just let me do it. But I still had to keep a room and show up for field day every Thursday night until I got my roommates to go, dude, I don't live here, right? Just, can we just stop, okay? And I say, oh, okay, that's fine. And then I never had to do it again. Anyway, let's do this again. I got a sidebar. But they just make you show up for formation to make sure you're not fucking up. Because Marines are, basically children with guns. It's just how we are. I could barely follow how the various events were scored. It was like watching a nationally televised field day with wholesome moments and cheerful contestants on the way. Let's not put down these poor children that are being used by their totally misguided parents. But it was unclear what the grand takeaway was supposed to be. Perhaps that will be revealed when the event is condensed to a 1 hour special airing on ABC. Hopefully it's already aired. Don't watch it. If you're curious to watch this shit, I don't know. Go to a church picnic. You'll see the same thing. More than anything, it was a reality televised style snapshot of America that Trump most wanted to see. The contestants were overwhelmingly white in a country where half the children are not, and many spoke openly of their Christian faith. Oh, look at that. It's the God Olympics. The United States
taking a I don't know. Terrible joke. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah. United States taking 50 steps backwards again. Because that's where we are in the age of stupid. Let's have us a accurate metaphor for this, whatever the hell this is. And I got one more story.
The Christo-fascist Olympics. That's what I would call that.
That's it. It's not even Olympics, right? It's more of a participation trophy. It's a big
like you said, trophy. It's like a Fields Day. So you play sports that don't have any real rules, any real laws, right? There's no organization that says these are how you properly win this sport, right? That's for anyone who's curious. I would say that is the difference between a sport and Fields Day. Right?
Every one of
sport has an organization which a bunch of people who say these are the rules. These are the fouls. These are how you break the rules. This is, all the system of the sport in which you are in. Whereas potato race doesn't have a fucking association, There's nobody. Three-legged race doesn't have any. There's general rules, obviously. Like, you have to have 3 legs.
Yep.
But, there's no, that's a foul because you landed and stood up. There's no fucking rules for most of these things, yeah. Whatever the fuck, what are they playing? Victory basketball, or whatever the hell you said.
It's a big participation trophy, like I said, for the right wing who hates participation trophies. Here we are. Trump gets a participation trophy from FIFA for world peace, right? He didn't bring no damn world peace anywhere. He gets to stand there with the Spanish team after they win the World Cup. He gets to be in their photo, and they have to edit him out. He's a participation trophy his entire fucking life. But we're all against participation trophy. No, you're not. You just hate everybody that's not like you. That's all you do. The haters, get their own participation trophy and pretend that it's legitimate. Okay, you can't invent sports, by the way. You can't just invent. I know people do invent sports. They just can't. Oh my God! I know there's a gazillion sports out there really invented recently, but I'm just saying, stop inventing sports. We got enough sports. There's just too many of them. Back to stories. This is where we're talking about another idiot, Mark Zuckerberg. This guy, I've had enough of this idiot. He has nothing but bad ideas, by the way. He's never had a good idea. He didn't come up with Instagram. He just bought it. So, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg. He didn't come up with Facebook either. Stole it. Yes, we must give Trump credit for strong-arming people. That's really... Donald, I'm responding to a chat.
We'll give chat on screen.
Right on. I'm letting everybody know it doesn't know. Anyway, I'm responding to a chat. Yeah, I would like to add a metaphor for Trump. If you've ever seen The Twilight Zone, there's an episode of The Twilight Zone you need to watch. It's about this little kid. This little kid has strange, unusual powers, and he's a little shit. You know why he's a little shit? Because he made it so his parents can't talk. And he made it so his sister can't talk. His sister doesn't have a mouth. I think his sister doesn't have a mouth anymore because she offended him. His parents got to treat him right or he punishes them. Everybody has to treat him right. Everybody has to treat this little kid. And that little kid is a metaphor for Trump, right? And this is why this stupid thing even exists. This is why there's his name on the Kennedy Center. Everybody's afraid to tell him no. Everybody's afraid to tell him no. I mean, juries aren't afraid of it. Juries aren't afraid of him. But everybody else afraid. Oh, no, Trump, don't get him upset. So there's your metaphor. Anyway, TechCrunch.com has a story about this awful human being, Mark Zuckerberg. He was actually a clone from the Nazi labs from World War II. I'm convinced of that. Mark Zuckerberg published a 6,500-word essay this week declaring the future is for everyone. So he had AI write himself a essay, because I don't think this guy sits down and writes anything. And painting an optimism. What he did was he talked to his little AI guy, and he said, "What's the name of his AI?" We'll find out later in the story. I really don't care, but AI guy, write me a 6,500-word essay declaring that the futures are everyone. And then that took 0.7 seconds, and it's full of spelling errors, and it's completely wrong. But hey, rich guys can do shit like that, declare things, and they become true, right? I am so sick of rich people. And painting an optimistic future of powered by AI. Oh yeah, powered in what way? Where everyone will have an exceptionally capable personal agent that understands you, your goals, and everything you care about. I have that already. It's called me. I have all that. And I don't even know what I care about every day. So how the fuck is AI gonna know it? You creep. On the latest episode of TechCrunch's Equity Podcast, Kirsten Krosek, Rebecca Ballin, and I discuss why not everyone is buying Zuckerberg's vision, including our colleague Russell Brandon, who wrote the manifesto exactly why people don't like AI. Comparing
it's not
Zuckerberg...
real? We like human beings? Yeah. God forbid?
Yeah, because it is fucking there for us to make fun of, and that's about it. Comparing Zuckerberg to Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei, who spent the weekend pushing back against the idea that he's an AI doomer. Okay. No, be an AI doomer if you want there. Amodei, your wife is talking to Epstein. You might as well be one. Rebecca and the Meta CEO seems to be positioning himself like the anti-Dario. The problem is, however, Zuckerberg and Meta's history. You look back in the social media days, Zuckerberg was saying that he wants to make sure that everyone has an outlet for talking to their friends and have a social network. And what do we do? What do we have instead? We have rage baiting, advertising, and no connections. Absolutely 100%. Facebook is nothing anymore. Facebook is nothing but rage baiting, fucking doom scrolling, people trying to one-up each other, and bots. That's all it fucking is anymore. Rebecca Ballin has this to say, cynically, I think this is an attempt for Meta to win in a different way. They're not winning on the frontier, closed model space. They're not necessarily even winning in the open space. When it comes to personal empowerment, as Mike Zuckerberg talks about in his letter, the future is for everyone. That's where he's trying to win. He's trying to provide us with models that people use for their own personal AI on their own personal devices. I don't need my fucking device to tell me how to fucking live. How the hell did I live before my phone told me how to live? God damn it. Oh, Lord, did you forget to wipe your ass? Jeez, I don't remember how to wipe my ass. Somebody told me how to wipe my own ass. I think last year when he published... Sorry, I'm dripping with sarcasm about this clown. I think last year when he published a similar Futures for Everyone letter, was that a lot of AI will go to the glasses, which are everybody thinks are perfect glasses. The wearables was not really clear what the final hardware from form factor for this would be. I guess he's like leaving it up to the individual to choose. So his idea that they're using the AI model Glimmer, that's the name of their model Glimmer, another clever name. Let's name it. I think the Rolling Stones ought to sue him for using their Glimmer Twins logo in their name. Drafting messages, ongoing, organizing files, always on. It can operate anytime, anywhere, or with or without an internet connection. I only say it because the Rolling Stones are famously litigious. Anyway, but
or at least the person.
Yeah, they sue everybody.
In charge of their stuff, anyways.
Alan Klein, I think, is still around.
Yeah.
So am Alan. They're using the word glimmer. But then there is a Muse. There is still Muse Spark. I guess that's another thing. So that maintains a way for them to have some level of control over still its most capable models of private revenue outlet for people who want to scale their compute, and people want to like to do larger projects. Companies might want to do large projects. Okay, this was not transcribed too well. So what we're doing here is we're talking about Mark Zuckerberg, and these interview things, they don't quite get to the point when they're just asking a question. Let's do what Anthony says here. It's Krista. Anthony says the following: that one positive thing I will say for this very long manifesto, which is 6,500 words, think about that, longer than almost anything that's been published on TechCrunch, is that there's one sentence where he says, if you are an AI doomer and you believe that that's the future that AI is going to bring, why are you building this stuff? Which I think is fair, although my big takeaway from that is not that AI future is great, but it makes you wonder about people who are making these predictions and then pushing ahead anyway. Yeah, that is a fair question to ask this guy who does Anthropic. If you're a doomer, why are you building it, asshole? Oh, because I can make money. That's a good question, Zuckerberg. A really good question. I also want to talk a little bit about Russell's point, which I think is a totally fair one, about how part of it is the messenger. For a variety of reasons, like people are suspicious of Mark Zuckerberg's of Meta. Arguably, that could become amplified over the next few months. And this new Facebook movie is coming out. New Facebook movie. Oh boy. But it also about the future is being promised by these AI companies. And often what we see is these viral pylons whenever Sam Altman and Mark Zuckerberg, two awful people, or somebody is making a prediction about the AI future, and people essentially say, who wants this? One of the most famous recent examples was Sam Altman talking. Don't listen to him talk. He has that vocal fry. I think it's permanent. Oh my God. Just put him in Bobby Kennedy Jr., both of them talking, and you'll just torture me beyond anything. You can use ChatGPT to make podcasts about your kids' interests and listen to while you're driving to school. Oh yeah, I'm going to let my ChatGPT spam my kids endlessly. Why don't you just talk to your kids, is what everybody's response is. Part of the manifesto was, and half of it is just stuff where it's going to unleash all this creativity and invention. And so it's abstract. If you're skeptical about AI, none of that is going to convince you because it seems unreal. And then the stuff that is more concrete about these personal coaches and assistants, there's some aspects that appeal, but a lot of them don't. There's a story real right into it as quickly as possible. 6,500 word manifesto is not going to convince anybody of any fucking thing. Most people aren't going to read it. You get past like 4 paragraphs and everybody's like, oh, they'll scroll to the bottom and go, holy Christ, this is long. Or maybe they'll have AI read it to them, perhaps, and go, holy Christ, this is long, and shut it off. Hey, Zuckerberg, the longer your argument, the worse your argument. Remember that. Be pithy, be concise, don't waste people's time. That's how you win an argument. Anyway, there's your
advice for somebody who's not looking to take it, I guess.
Let's have your accurate metaphor for this clown thinking that you need a personal assistant. No, I don't. I don't do anything. Why do I need a personal assistant?
The problem with rich people these days, and I feel like it's probably always been a problem with rich people, but it's even more now because we just have more information, is that they're a normal human being, and they go, I just had a cool idea, and they have enough money that they can make the cool idea, and there's nobody there to say, hey, Mark, this cool idea is really stupid and lame, and no one else is going to think it's cool. And
you know why?
For my metaphor, let me finish. For my metaphor, rich people sharing their cool ideas with the world is like when somebody says, hey, I had a dream last night, and tries to tell you about it. Nobody wants to hear about your dream you had last night.
Right. And you know why? You know why there's nobody around to care about their dreams anymore? You know why there is nobody around for the rich people's big dreams? Because Jeffrey Epstein's gone. Because he was the guy that made them come true. I want my luxury porn site, Jeff. Woohoo! Let's do it.
Okay, we're still talking about that. Is that your only story? Your last story, I should say?
Epstein became something we don't do anymore? I'm so confused about that comment. Anyway, yeah, that's my story.
All right, let's go to the next
Yeah, we're still
segue.
talking about Epstein. We're not going to stop talking about
still talking about your story about earlier, which you already ranted about enough, in my opinion. Yes,
it's
the porn site thing, which we talked about. Yes,
callbacks are done in humor to make people laugh, not to go, "Oh, you're still talking about that." That's called a callback.
Well, actually, you can have different reactions to things. There aren't rules to how people are supposed to react to things.
But forward the humor of the show, I'd appreciate just the humor get let go and not be called out. That's all.
Our next segue is accurate metaphor and simile for you, for my culture news. This story is coming from The Guardian by Sean Kane. I think that's how you say his name. It's probably Irish. Hayden Panettiere, the actor known for roles in television shows such as Heroes and Nashville, has died at the age of 36. Her death was confirmed in a statement from her representative, to The Guardian, on last night, the 16th of August, after it was first reported on the U.S. network ABC News. No cause of death has been given. It was with profound sadness that we share the tragic passing of our beloved Hayden. She was an incredible light and a force of nature who brought immeasurable love and joy to all who knew her, and to the millions who watched her on screen. Her father, Skip, said in a statement. He asked for privacy as our family takes time to process this unimaginable loss. Born in 1989, Hayden was a child star who began acting at just 11 months old, appearing in a toy commercial. She made her big screen debut as the voice of Dot in A Bug's Life, aged 9. In 2000, she appeared in Remember the Titans. In 2004, she landed her first starring role as the daughter of Bill Pullman's character in Tiger Cruise on the Disney Channel. Hayden rose to global fame at the age of 17 as the invulnerable cheerleader Claire Bennett in Heroes, a series with the well-known mysterious mantra, "Save the cheerleader, save the world." The show was a hit and ran for 4 seasons between 2006 and 2010. Hayden also earned 2 Golden Globe nominations for her performance as the troubled country music star Juliet Barnes on Nashville. 11 songs that Hayden recorded for Nashville appeared on the Billboard's Hot Country Songs chart during the show's run, including 2 featuring her co-star Connie Britton. She also appeared as Kirby Reed in 2011's Scream 4 and 2023's Scream 6. In 2014, she gave birth to her daughter, Kaya Klitschko, whom she had with her ex-fiancé, the Ukrainian heavyweight boxing champion Vladimir Klitschko. Hayden gave full custody in 2018 in order to focus on recovering from what she called a horrible cycle for years of battling depression and anxiety and alcoholism and substance abuse. I didn't know where the alcoholism was ending and the postpartum was beginning, she said in an interview in 2022, and I ran myself pretty ragged. She entered rehab in 2015 while filming Nashville, which ended up informing some of the show's storylines. This hasn't been easy and there were a lot of ups and downs, Hayden told People magazine in 2022, but I don't regret even the ugliest things that have happened to me. I feel incredibly accomplished and I feel like I have a second chance. Earlier this year, she published a memoir titled This Is Me, A Reckoning, which touched on her struggles with fame, postpartum depression, addiction, and recovery. In the book, Hayden wrote about the troubling link she made between acting and love. Directors, fans, and mom praised me endlessly for my over-the-top dramatic responses. Subconsciously, I began to associate catastrophe with adoration. People loved me because make-believe bad things happened to me. In May, she gave an emotional interview to podcaster Jay Shetty about her daughter. I will always want her here. I always miss her, she said. I always want to have my arms wrapped around her, but that's just not the way life is right now at the moment. I have faith that she's going to come to me and that we're going to have an incredible relationship and bond and friendship that a lot of parents don't get to have with their kids. Hayden is survived by her father, Her mother, who is also her former manager. Her brother Jansen died in 23 at the age of 28 from a cardiomyopathy. I'm sorry, I don't know medical terms. In an enlarged heart. He had an enlarged heart and died of complications due to that. A aortic valve complication. So her parents have no children now, and that's really depressing and sad, and I'm sorry to deliver this sad news to you.
He died from what?
Her brother died of an enlarged heart.
No, what
did
what did she die of?
It has not been reported. Has not been shared.
Okay. There's the...
You can definitely make theories about it. So.
Well, you brought up rehab, and of course
Yes.
the celebrity. I think it's the right of celebritydom, right? It's the rights of celebritydom. That's my metaphor. It's you must have rehab in there somewhere. Like any celebrity, it's like, well, that time I had to quit drinking, and I've been so. You see it all the time, and it's always you can't
it's very sad.
Fame. Yeah. And it's always the rehab thing. And again, these rehab
substance
places
abuse is just like the easiest way to escape from the constant
the cycle.
Yeah, the
There's
cycle, just having no privacy.
Rehab and addiction cycle is a cycle, right? There's so many people that go to rehab so many times and it doesn't take. I think one of the theories why it doesn't take is you get a bunch of drug addicts in one place at one time, and some of them will be smuggling drugs in.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm
really just saying.
Gonna push anti-rehab propaganda right now.
I'll give you a metaphor for that. Okay, these are facts. Okay, the two places where drugs are completely and totally banned. Prisons and schools. And where are the two easiest places to get drugs? I'm not
sure if it's easy to get drugs at school, but I never tried, so I have no personal experience with that.
I guarantee it. Okay. If you have a teenager, just ask your teenager, where can I buy some weed? Oh, Jimmy at school. Okay. Give me some weed.
Well, now you can just buy it at the dispensary down the street.
That was an example of something that could have happened in the past, which happens on, what's the show, American Beauty with Kevin Spacey. Remember that? He's buying weed from the neighbor, right? And
that was a movie.
Yeah, American Beauty, Kevin Spacey.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that
you said show, so I was like, I did not know they may release a show for that.
This is a fact. They did. Well, it was a fact back in the war on drugs was really full bore. And I was involved in it with my teeth. The facts were the easiest place to get drugs are prison and school, right? You're in prison. Oh, you gotta pay. Don't get me wrong. You gotta pay. One way or another. I'm just saying, you can get them. And so, what was my point again? Yeah, the metaphor for this. You ban things, and the places they're banned the most is the place they're more readily available. And that was my point about rehab. Who's in rehab? A bunch of drunks, right? I'm just saying. Who's more reliable than a drug addict, right? I don't know. I'm just saying. This is
all right,
Jerry
let's get our next
Garcia
segue for this day in history.
Jerry Garcia said he would go into rehab. This Jerry Garcia died right after rehab because he said he would go to rehab to get drugs. That's what he said. I'm selling this. I'm not telling you nothing that I'm fucking making up.
I didn't say you're making anything up. I just have nothing to add because I don't have any experience with this. I don't do drugs. I don't drink.
You said anything. Don't take anything I say personally. I'm not talking to you. You're not my only audience. I hope, anyway. I hope you're not my only audience. If you are, well, hi. My only audience.
Yeah, I'm just I feel like you've already explained what you said, so I don't know why you're continuing to explain it. I will associate this day in history with something.
We'll say things twice for people sometimes. You got to reinforce it. I don't know. You try training Marines, okay? You try it. It ain't easy.
I just assume people can hear the first time. Next story.
There you go, assuming things. What we spend? I was too busy talking.
Associate.
Alrighty. You're getting angry for some reason.
Yes, it's after 2 p.m. I would like to finish the show before 2 p.m.
Yeah, anger is no way to go through life. Associate,
Okay.
you say.
I don't want to hear that from you.
I don't even know what that means. All right, so this day in history, no clue what the hell you meant by that. But thanks, whatever that meant. That was really unnecessary, again. Okay, we're going to do this day in history. And my scroller's broken again. There he goes. All right, back to 1590. John White returned from England to Roanoke Island off the coast of present-day North Carolina, and everybody was gone when he got back. That's right. The search the following day found no trace of the colony that he had left 3 years earlier, including his family. Just gonzo.
He just did one of those scams where he has a second family and then moved in with them, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah. He crossed the Atlantic Ocean in 1590 to get his family back from Roanoke Island, North Carolina, which they disappeared, and there was there's a big story about it. There was a Krakoan or something carved into a tree. I think they did find descendants of those people. Yeah, still alive to this very day. 1807, the first serviceable steamboat, the Clermont, designed by American engineer Robert Fulton, embarked on its maiden voyage. Now that's it. So steam power put to good use. 1887, Marcus Garvey, a charismatic black leader who helped found the University of Negro Improvement Association, which sought, among other things, to build an African black governed nation. He was born in Jamaica. Did he ever succeed? I mean, Nigeria was started for that reason. 1906, American chemist and businesswoman Hazel Bishop was born in Hoboken, New Jersey. She founded a makeup company and created the first kiss-proof lipstick. Kiss-proof lipstick. Makes it kind of weird. Kind of makes you wonder what's in that chemical you're putting on your face. That would make me wonder. But yeah, just
lots of oil.
Because you're going to end up eating it at some point. 1930, I don't know. I wasn't around in 1906, so having not been around. That's the stuff that's
still in it today, so.
I can't make that assumption. 1933, American feminist lecturer, writer, and publisher Charles Perkins Gilman died in Pasadena, California. She was the leading theorist for American women's rights movement and the author of many poems and stories, including The Yellow Wallpaper, a sparkly, realistic first-person portrayal of the mental breakdown of a physically pampered but emotionally starved young wife. It kind of sounds like that Anthropic guy's wife, you know? Oh, let's start a porn site. I'm bored. Anywho, rich people with too much time on their hands. Just another example. 1943, Rob De Niro, American actor known for his happy birthday to Robert De Niro. You know who Robert De Niro is? I don't know, watch a movie. Happy birthday, Robert De Niro, turning 83 today. English author George Orwell published Animal Farm. On this day, the anti-utopian satire became a classic, and then later, 1984, because George Orwell saw the future, and he's like, people like to be controlled. They love certainty. They love it so much they will give away all their rights. 1947.
I don't think that's what I took from those stories, but okay.
1947, the final boundary demarking the borders between India and Pakistan, known as the Radcliffe Line, was officially published. 1960, Gabon achieved independence from France while maintaining close relations with former colonial ruler and continuing to use French language and embrace French culture. That happened in 1960. A lot of stuff happened. Sorry for all this information, but I guess the Britannic editors wanted to, I don't know, they just wanted to bog us down. 1978, Ben L. Abruzzo, Maxie Anderson, and Larry Newman completed the first transatlantic balloon fight in Double Eagle 2. That must have been cool. He got to fly across the Atlantic, which they would have had to go east, because that's where the jet stream goes. In 1999, a 7.4 magnitude earthquake struck near a Mazar earthquake. This is terrible. 17,000 people dying basically within a few hours, and leaving more than 500,000 homeless. That was 27 years ago today. In 1908, the Olympics in Beijing, American swimmer Michael Phelps helped his team win a 4x100 meter relay, becoming the first athlete to win 8 medals in single games. Featured events. 1896, the Klondike Gold Rush starts. North to Alaska. That's a great song by Johnny Horton. On this date, 1896, Lying George, that's in Lying George, Washington Carmack, and Smokum Jim Mason stake claims for a spot in the confluence of the Yukon and Klondike rivers, along with a tributary called Rabbit Creek. The two believe that there was gold sandwiched between two slabs of bedrock near the river confluence, and their claim paid off. The original finders prospered. And over the next year, 300,000 people piled into the Klondike, chasing the same fortune, and basically going broke, and catching all kinds of diseases and stuff. So some people did get rich, but mostly corporations got rich. Indonesia, Declaration of Independence on this day in 1945. Sukarno declared Indonesian independence from the Netherlands. Way to go, you occupiers. And after the Dutch transferred sovereignty 4 years later, he served as the country's first president. So, anniversary to Indonesia. Fly that flag proudly. You are now, geez, I'm having trouble with math. You're now 81 years old. You're older than Trump by a year. Sir B.S. Naipaul's birthday today. Trinidadian writer who was born 1932. Won a Nobel Prize 2001 for literature. Our other famous birthdays. Donnie Wahlberg apparently has a birthday today. Donnie. New Kids on the Block? Is that the band he was in?
No idea. I never listened to them.
New Kids on the Crack. That's his band. New Kids on the Crack. And and his brother Mark Wahlberg. They're both actors now. And they have little side businesses and stuff. Wahlburgers or some shit. I don't know what the hell it is. Our other birthday say
in Boston or something.
I think they worked the name.
Got in trouble for being racist. Wahlberg.
All I know is they got some kind of burger and they worked Wahlberg into the name. Other birthdays today. Looking. Jim Courier, National Hall of Famer, Tennis Hall of Famer, turning 56. Donnie Wahlberg, we just mentioned, turning 57. He was born in 1969. Action actor Helen McCrory, 1968. She must be passed away now because they don't have her age. Steve Gorman of the Black Crowes, turning 61. They had this guy listed here from Guns N' Roses. Never heard of him, so he must have been a replacement guy. Gilbert J. Clarke is turning 64. It doesn't say what he plays. Probably plays Slash, I don't know. Sean Penn! God damn, that should be our headline. Sean Penn turning 66. Happy birthday to Sean Penn, or used to be known Mr. Madonna. Journalist Eric Schlosser, age 67, born in 1959. I believe that is the husband of Carolyn Kennedy. Don't get me. Pretty sure that's true. He's the right age, 67. Writer Jonathan Franzen, born in 1957. And Belinda Carlisle from the Go-Go's, turning 68. She always loved me some Belinda Carlisle. Tim Bagley, 1957, born, so he's turning 69. We already did a Robert De Niro, 87. And what else we got? In history, aviator Francis Gary Powers, the guy who flew a U-2 over Russia, got shot out of the air and was hostage for a little while. Prisoner of war, they called him. They did get him released eventually. Watergate figure Mark Felt's birthday today. Who's Mark Felt? We didn't know who he was until it came out. He was the guy who was giving away all the secrets to reporters and calling himself Deep Throat. So happy birthday to Deep Throat. He was born in 1913. Actor Mae West, born in 1893. And we'll get on to the National Day calendar. It's National
also
Pineapple
Austin
Day.
Butler's birthday and Kid Leroy, which are more recent famous people, I suppose.
Tommy's birthday.
Austin
Happy
Butler
birthday,
played
Tom.
Elvis in the Elvis biopic.
Is it legitimately Tommy's birthday, or are you just saying that? National Pineapple Juice Day. National
No, that's
Massachusetts
Nico
Day.
being sarcastic because he's a freaking, what do you call, New Englander sarcastic guy.
Oh, okay. It's National Mass. Oh, he's a masshole? Are you saying he's a masshole? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think he
That's what they
currently
call it.
lives in the masshole area.
But he knows what a masshole is. So there you go.
He knows what a masshole is, yeah.
That's it. Ha 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 ha.
There you go. He confirms he's a masshole. But
Here
technically, he
comes the
doesn't
Deep
live
Throat.
in Massachusetts, as far as I know.
If you watch the movie All the President's Men with Dustin Hoffman and Robert Redford, and I recommend you watch it. It's a great movie. It's all about political intrigue, but it's really good because the actors are really good. The guy in the shadows in the parking garage in D.C. giving the secrets away just called me Deep Throat, which might not even have been the name he gave them. But anyway,
Yeah.
he was disguising his voice. That's why he called himself. And his actual name was Mark Felt, and they waited until he died until they revealed the source, right? Which is what reporters should do, by the way. Never fucking reveal your sources, even if they torture you. It's none of their damn business. Freedom of the press. So it's a National I Love My Feet Day. I don't know what I'd do without my feet. Probably crawl a lot, right? Definitely
Walk on your knees,
I know.
maybe?
I don't know, go play the hokey pokey today. I know. Maybe the hokey pokey was one of those Patriot game events. It should have been, right? Oh, he won the hokey pokey. I won the bronze at hokey pokey. I'm done. National Nonprofit Day, and if you have a church event, it's supposed to be a nonprofit, but we know what churches are. And those are your days, your haikus, no haikus, limericks, everything else for mispronunciations for Monday, August 17th, 2025 on Before Pineapple Juice.
Pineapple juice.
Squeeze a pineapple.
Great for your gut. The enzymes in pineapple helps you break stuff down in your stomach. So if you're having issues with that, try some pineapple juice.
Pineapples are so juicy, you really don't have to squeeze them, right? You just gotta.
And rhubarb has the same thing too, actually. My landlady has to drink pineapple juice and rhubarb because she doesn't have a working stomach anymore because her throat is gone. So she needs to get her enzymes from the plants instead of from her body. There are no international UN observances today. So continue not doing anything since the 13th because there hasn't been any UN observances. I feel like there's so much things in the world. They should have one for every day. They really need to work on this. Yeah, they really a little 5-6 day break from any international celebrations.
Do you know how hot it is in New York City? It's hot in New York City by August. Don't go there. Sorry, go ahead.
This has been Alton here from the Netherlands, Roger from the East Coast of the U.S. as we type another Mucking Fun Day. Yep, it's Mucking Fun Day again. We'll be back tomorrow for Good Tuesday News Day.
Segway.
Which will have a segue.
Yeah, what did you spin? Associate,
Oh,
right?
so I already did associate. Yeah, I did it during when you were talking. I just did it with the pineapple juice. Anyway.
Okay,
Back to the outro. Back to the outro. We will see you tomorrow for Good Tuesday News Day, which will have all the good news that you need to know about so you can have hope in humanity again. And
I was just doing the soundboard.
Everyone who is following the Twitch channel on Before Coffee Podcast and subscribed on Before Coffee Podcast on YouTube. If you're not doing that, please. If your whole family isn't subscribed and following, if your pets, your neighbors, please let them know because the higher that number goes, the more we can share our anti-AI news. And I appreciate everyone on Patreon under the Before Coffee tier for supporting the show. Thank you for your red flag, Acorn Nico. And here is our mic drop moment.
This is
I
Ken
saw.
Paxton. And this is Ken Paxton stealing someone's $1,000 pen. Here's what happened. The incident happened at the Collin County Courthouse, the same courthouse where Paxton would later be indicted for investment fraud. Paxton walked up to the trays next to the metal detectors, rummaged through them, and came across someone else's expensive Mont Blanc pen. He decided to take it for himself. The pen belonged to Joe Joplin, a local attorney who'd accidentally left it behind. It was a special gift from his wife. When Joe realized it was missing, he contacted courthouse security. This is the footage they pulled. Ken Paxton, on camera, stealing this man's pen. After the police got involved, Joe got his pen back. He could have pressed charges, but he decided against it. Because Joe's a nice guy. He'd never take someone else's pen. But he also hasn't forgotten who took his.
Hi, I'm Joe Joplin, and I endorse James Tallarico for the United States Senate.
Vote for James Tallarico. He won't steal your
Doesn't steal
pen.
pens. Yeah.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.